Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 25 of the Sam Hossack Media Podcast. Today's guest just finished her freshman year at the University of New Hampshire. Please welcome Avery Myers.
Hello.
Now, Avery, you're obviously with the UNH women's hockey team. Take us through the process of committing, and when did you know UNH was the school for you?
Yeah, I kind of just was looking. I committed pretty late, and um, I was playing in the Beantown tournament in Boston, and so my family and I flew out there, and we kind of just visited a few schools out east, and obviously I visited UNH, and I saw it, and I loved it. The rink is amazing, and that was one really big thing. I talked to the coaches and I loved them, and so it just kind of felt like the right place for me.
Absolutely. Now, take us through your first college hockey game. Who was it against, and how did it go?
Um, my first hockey game was against BC. We ended up losing, but I didn't play too much in that game. But as the season went on, I started getting some more ice time. Um, so yeah.
Now, obviously, your first year was during a COVID season, so take us through kind of like what a game day would look like at UNH.
Usually we would do a team meal, get our classes done in the morning if we had any. Depending on the time of our game, Fridays, if it was at like 7, we would do a pregame skate optional. A lot of us would just go to the rink, and even if we didn't skate, we'd bike or go to the training room or something like that, and then get to the rink about 2 hours early after the pregame meal and just get ready, warm up, and stuff like that.
Now, take us through your first NCAA goal. Who was it against, and what was kind of going through your head?
We played Holy Cross, and I just went down. It was kind of a bad angle shot from the goal line, and I just went, I think, top right, and it was crazy. It was a good feeling. So yeah, it was crazy.
Now, what were some of the your favorite trips that you guys got to go on this year, if there were really any?
We went on one overnight to Vermont, but otherwise there wasn't many trips. There was a lot of bus trips, and those were all fun, but only one overnight in Vermont.
Now, obviously, during your COVID season, not a lot of stuff you guys could do, but what were some of the activities you guys got to do as a team?
We were there over Christmas, so we got to do a Christmas party, socially distanced in our skybox, and then we also did that for Thanksgiving, I think it was. But um, we had a movie night in our arena, but otherwise there wasn't too much we could do.
Now, an Instagram post that you guys made, I think the freshman class, this one, what is the story behind this?
We for Halloween we were, what was it, spring breakers, so that was our costumes. We all got dressed up together and took some pictures.
That's awesome. Now, top three rinks that you played at this year.
Hmm. I liked Northeastern's rink. I think that rink is very cool. Their scoreboard is pretty sick. BC has a good rink, and I liked Providence's rink a lot too.
Now, favorite NCAA jersey and why?
Hmm. Favorite NCAA jersey. I like BU's jerseys. I mean, obviously, I love ours. I think that we have the best jerseys. They're simple and they're good colors. But other than us, I would say I like BU's jerseys. I just like the red and white together.
Now, at a lot of schools down in the States, between the men's and women's teams, there's rivalries. So at UNH, who's the better team, the men's or women's?
I don't know. I couldn't say. They're both great teams. So
Now, we'll have some fun here. Messiest girl on the team.
Probably Siobhan Truder and Kyla Bent. They're roommates, and their room is pretty messy all the time. So
Now, who runs the music in the dressing room, and is it good or bad?
Tamara Theoris, and it's always good.
Loudest in the room and on the ice?
Tamara Theoris for sure.
Now, the UNH women's team are huge in the tech talk, so who are the best and worst TikTokers?
I don't know. Emily Rickwood, she's blown up quite a bit on TikTok. Charlie Kettle, she's got some good dancing skills, so I would have to say Charlie.
Now, most likely to forget something on an overnight trip?
Probably Kyla.
Now, you're on a selection committee for the U.S. Olympic team next year. Men's and women's, who are some of the people you want on that U.S. team?
Men's and women's. I don't follow a lot of the men's hockey. I do, but I don't know like a lot of individual players. Women's like from every team in our league, every team or what?
You can go in NCAA or like past Olympics and stuff.
Past Olympics. Well, I'm familiar with a lot of girls from like the Midwest area because that's where I grew up. That's who I grew up playing with. So I would say Britta Curl. She'll definitely be on that anyways. But for sure, she's a great player. Let's see. I mean, anyone on Wisconsin. Good players. I'm trying to think. I don't know. Everyone in the NCAA is like so good, so it's hard to say certain players. Claire DeGeorge, she's on my sister's team at Bemidji. I know she's made a few U.S. rosters. Erin Frankel, obviously, is good. I would say Ava Boudelier, one of the best goalies I've ever played against. But yeah.
Now, obviously, you guys were in the middle of your season when the NHL came back, but do you have a favorite team, and how exciting is it to see NHL hockey back on every night?
Yeah, definitely the Minnesota Wild is my favorite team just because that's the closest team to me. But yeah, it was nice watching sports. I missed it when it was gone. Last year, there was no sports on, so it's nice to have them back.
Now, you guys experienced it during this season, but what was it like not playing in front of fans?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely have rather played in front of fans. It's I don't know. It was just I was kind of used to it this year because we started not playing with fans and um we ended not playing with fans. So it was just the new normal, I guess.
Now, I reached out to one of your teammates, Maddie Truax, and she said to talk about Jolly Ranchers before the game. So, what's the story behind that?
I don't know. I've ever since I was kind of like little, I've been having Jolly Rancher. Like I eat a Jolly Rancher before um every period because I forget who it was. I think like the Lamoureux twins, they wrote in an article or said something like that they eat Starbursts or gummy bears or something for like a little boost of energy between every period. So I was like, oh, well, I love Jolly Ranchers, so I'll just start doing that. So ever since then, I've been doing that.
Now, what advice would you give to a freshman coming into UNH next year?
Um, not to stress so much. Probably it's always stressful coming into a new place, but everything works out. It's a lot of fun.
Now, you're part of a freshman class of 8, and from what I've seen, you're good friends with all those other freshmen. So, just talk about the friendship you made at UNH this year.
Yeah, it was good having a big group because we were kind of isolated to ourselves a lot of the times. We we all lived together, us 8, in the dorm, so we got really close. We weren't able to do much, so we were kind of stuck together, and so we just all got really close.
Now, what are some of the funniest moments that happened during the season?
Funniest moments. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of stories that can be told to the public that are pretty good ones, but some crazy stories, I guess, are just like the quarantine ones, us having to go to quarantine and play the next day or the day we get out. Those are pretty crazy. So
Now, obviously, COVID has been a thing since the season started. So, what was it like having to adjust to being in quarantine, not being able to skate for 2 weeks, and then having to come back and play games right after?
yeah, it was hard. I mean, that game definitely wasn't my best. The one we came right out of quarantine, my legs were dead. We tried. Our trainer gave us some exercises to do just to keep our heart rates up and stuff like that for the ones who didn't have COVID. And so we tried to do those. We were in a pretty tight space, but we made it work.
Now, at UNH, you obviously have top-notch facilities. Just talk about how special it is to have a rink like that, and be able to go into that rink every day and see how cool it is.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Obviously I've never had a home rink like this. The locker room, like everything about it, the rink was like a huge part of why I went to UNH. Like it is so nice. I think we have one of the best rinks. It's perfect.
Absolutely. And now take us through the feeling in your head when you saw your name on the back of that UNH jersey.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like it's been my dream for a long time to play Division 1, and so it's just I don't know, it's just cool to see. It's like I made it. So it was just I don't know. It's always fun. It doesn't get old.
Now, something that kind of came out on TikTok a few months ago during March Madness, Sedona Prince was huge into advocating for women's athletes in the NCAA. So, what was your thoughts on seeing that about the food and the weights and stuff for the women's versus the men?
Yeah, I mean, it's yeah, I don't think that the women deserve that, but it was good that someone spoke up about it and they got some better stuff out of it. I know that there was like some companies sending them more workout stuff and stuff like that, so that was good.
And now, here finally, before I wrap up, tough day for women's hockey the other day. The World Championships get canceled. What were your thoughts when you saw that?
No, I feel so bad for all those players. I mean, like that is just it's crazy to make it there. And obviously you don't just make it there. Like you put a lot of work into that. So I mean, it's horrible that they had it canceled. I'm not sure. I think they said I saw something they were trying to reschedule, but I mean, hopefully.
Yeah, the last I saw, they're still trying to reschedule, probably move it down their states. But I mean, up here in Canada, COVID it's still a thing, and I mean, out in Nova Scotia, they had 25 cases the day after it got canceled. So it's like, really, you're gonna cancel over that? But I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
the IIHF is gonna try and do the right thing and move it to somewhere it's safe, because I mean it's 2 years in a row that tournament's been canceled. So
Yeah.
the women from those 10 countries deserve to be playing. And I'm not going to say too much into it, but it pisses me off that the under 18 teams are playing right now in Texas. And I mean, I got buddies on the Canadian team, but really they get to play and the women don't. Like, no.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Well, I'd like to thank Avery Myers for coming on here today. It was a pleasure, and we got a big episode tomorrow that she might be a part of with 5 other freshmen from UNH. So everyone's got to tune into that as well.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.